Hey guys, Tony here. Welcome back to my latest room update where I'm going to go over some of the things that I've got outstanding in the room, as well as the one thing that I'm really happy about, and that is my automated masking system to go from 16:9 down to CinemaScope for immersive movie watching. So guys, if you haven't followed along, I will leave a playlist down below so that you can see from the very beginning, at the beginning of this year, when I started to rip this room apart and get it to what you see today. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is my Trinov. We decided that while the room was still in downtime, that I would get the HDMI board upgraded to 2.1. So I've sent that off to Krix. They now have it ready to upgrade the HDMI board. And I do have my Yamaha 5.2 receiver in place at the moment, just so that I can use the room and also so I can do all the testing. It still sounds pretty cool, but my good friend Michael from Krix came up a couple of weeks ago. I haven't released any videos on that yet, but I will. We did set up waveforming in this room. You can see I have these subs over my shoulder there. They're wall mounted because of waveforming. Just the way that waveforming works, you have to have the subs at a specific distance in the room and also in the vertical plane as well. So there'll be more about that. There'll be a whole video on the waveforming in this room coming up in the new year. As soon as I can get that done, I will publish it. The other thing we're waiting on is, you can see I've only got 2 chairs. So these are the Monza chairs from Valencia Theatre Seating. I've got 3 more coming. Unfortunately, I was just told only yesterday that unfortunately the months and months that I've been waiting for them, that they weren't put on the shipping container. So I can only laugh because that's been the nature of this room, and I'm just a positive person. So I'm like, yeah, well, it is what it is. I can't, jumping up and down isn't going to do anything. It can't magically appear overnight. So I have to wait, and that's fine. I have 2 chairs in here. I'm generally in here on my own anyway, but I did want to do a full review on these Monza chairs because I ordered 3 more because these are now my favorite chair. Like, these are so comfortable and they tick every box for me, including the look, the feel, and they're not as high range as, say, the Tuscany Ultimates. For me, these ticked every box. I can sit upright in these chairs, be super comfortable and not fall asleep, which is a big plus for anyone that falls asleep during a movie. The other thing that I've got outstanding in this room is the curtains. I do have curtains that will open across the front. That's all been installed. I did have the curtains up there. I've taken them down because unfortunately the 2 additional side pieces that were ordered were in the wrong color. Now, this isn't Highland Shutter's fault. This was done by the manufacturer of the curtains. Unfortunately, the color of the rest of my curtains has been discontinued, and the fabric that they chose, they thought it was the same and it's not. I'm having all of the curtains replaced now to match a new fabric. And so I just want to say a big thank you to Shannon and Linda and the team at Highland Shutters for being so accommodating. Yes, I know it's been delayed, but hey, these things happen. It's been the nature of this build. This whole room has just been a battle from start to finish. We're almost there, guys. I thought by Christmas time I'd be able to enjoy this room in its full extent. But, you know, that's the way these projects go, unfortunately, sometimes. The biggest thing that I want to talk about in this video is the fact that I have a masking system in place and set up to change the aspect ratio from 16:9 to 2.39 to 1. And as you may know, to buy a masking screen can cost anywhere from 20 grand to 60 grand in both Australian dollars and US dollars. Like, masking screens are super expensive. I always wanted to have that because I'm not into doing the whole using a image processor or a video processor to change the aspect ratio and squish it into, you know, squeeze it into the fixed aspect ratio. And being that I like a lot of TV shows, I do like watching TV series even more than movies, I dare say. And a lot of those TV series, especially Paramount Plus, Netflix, they have either 2:1 aspect ratio, 2.39 to 1, or they have IMAX enhanced, which is a smaller crop. When I say smaller crop, I mean it's not quite 16:9, it just comes down a little bit. And you can see those grey bars, even with the JVC, you can still see them. At the beginning of this year, I started to code my own program and algorithm to detect aspect ratios. I do have a full video coming on that. I know I've promised it before, but I haven't been able to do it because the room's not done. The actual aspect ratio masking system is in place and is working, and I'm going to show you demos of that so that you can see how it works. A lot of people have told me, oh, it's a waste of time, a waste of money, just live with the grey bars or just get a scope screen and just crop it. But that's not what I wanted. I had this passion that I wanted to achieve this specific outcome, and that was to have a roll down screen so I could reveal my speakers, but also have horizontal masking so that I can get the best of IMAX, and then I could also, without losing horizontal screen real estate, that I could do horizontal panels. So panels at the top and the bottom and go like that, which means it's a constant image width. I decided to go down that path, and I've ripped out my whole front wall, and that's been the whole project, as if anyone's been watching. my videos on this series from the start will know. And I've demonstrated how it works using the test rig in my garage. In this case, what we've done is ripped the whole front wall out. I've installed masking panels to linear actuators, which are all controlled through motor controllers and an Arduino, which receives specific instructions from the software code that I wrote that detects the aspect ratio and then sends specific signals to the motors to move the panels up and down according to the aspect ratio that's detected. And this all happens in real time. So it's pretty fast. Because I had to build error detection in, I couldn't have it instantaneous, because if you have it doing instantly, it could detect false positives. Like in a dark scene, it might not detect the black bar as being any different from the black inside the scene. So I had to build error detection into to cater for that. I'm not going to go into that. That's my own little secret, but how I did it. But my scripts all work. It's not perfect. I do get some false positives sometimes, but in most movies, I can watch the entire movie without it, you know, misunderstanding what it's doing and dropping out of the aspect ratio. So the cool part about it is, like, if you're watching a movie, you go into the Zadoo, for example, and you've got the nice poster walls and you can see the nice posters. They're not cropped, you're not losing any information, you can see it all as it's intended. And then when you go to play the movie, and if it's in CinemaScope, by the time the sync has happened with the projector, and it's detected HDR and the frame rate and the screen's black, back on the system's faster than the projector, so it's already detected that feed. And 9 times out of 10, the panels have already moved into place or are almost in place by the time the image shows up. So to the viewer, they're pretty unaware of what's going on. All they know is that, oh, that's nice. All you can see is the image, very immersive. There's no gray from the overspill of light coming from the projector. Possibly you could get away with, if you had even better than this would be to have this as well as a lens, so it would switch modes, go to anamorphic D-squeeze, and then you'd have no light and the masking panels would be even better. For not having a lens, this is pretty awesome because it just crops out the light. There's literally zero spill because the panels are covered in light absorbent flocking. In shifting aspect ratios like Top Gun, it works really well. There are a few places where there's some darker scenes where it gets confused and it moves up and down more than it should. 9 times out of 10, all the scenes that shift from scope to IMAX works beautifully. And you're going from like a cinematic talking scene straight to a combat scene, and the panels will move really fast. That's something that's really cool, and I've been able to demonstrate that now in this video working, because it's all working properly now. It's all nice and stable. This system that I've developed is not necessarily something that I'm going to release to everyone. I've kind of built this for myself. It's something that I wanted to achieve. If there's interest, I might look at developing it into a product that people can buy, or they can pay to have it installed. I don't know, but that's something that I'll consider later on down the track. I've had a little bit of interest, not as much as I thought I might have, but that's only because I know this is a super niche thing that I've done. And it's like, even people around me that are into this are like, yeah, whatever. So I'm interested in, I'm excited about it. Not everyone else will be, and that's totally fine. And that's what's so great about this hobby. Thanks for watching the video this long. If you stuck around this long, I will do one more video this year, which will be a video to wrap up the year for Christmas. And I did that last year and it was a pretty cool video. I might just show some of my YouTube metrics just so that people can get an idea of what goes into a YouTube channel behind the scenes, how much money you make, all that kind of stuff. But that's it for this one. You'll catch me in that video. Bye for now.